All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's stream. So it looks like we've already got a few people showing up. So welcome, Mike. Thank you for stopping by, and Hamza, welcome to you as well. Yeah, definitely right on time here to start the stream and kind of take a look at what's going on in crypto. And I know you guys are familiar with how these streams usually work. So as always, if you guys have anything you want to hear about throughout the stream, please let me know in the comments over in the chat, and we can definitely take a look at that. You know, in the past we've been able to get to everybody's comments. So it looks like Mike said, good morning, would love to see a BTC chart and your thoughts on where we're headed next. So yeah, we can definitely start off with looking at that. That's wrong one. Trading. Here, AI trading view. Help if I could spell, but all right, trading view. That is the wrong trading view. Okay. All right. So taking a look at Bitcoin here. So we are looking at the day chart right now. So crypto really overall, low roller, nice to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. So it looks like we're getting a decent crowd here. So as always, you know, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, definitely let me know in the live chat. We're starting off looking at the Bitcoin chart here. So Bitcoin overall, switching back here real quick, down 3.49% today. It's been all over the place lately. There's been a lot of uncertainty going on around the world and in investments overall. Not just cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. It's kind of all over the place. So it's not super crazy that we're seeing a 3.5% or 3.15% down today. Of course, I'd like to see it up, but you know, you don't always get those up days. But going back over to the chart here, we can see that we got this nice kind of support level at the 35,000 range, which we dropped down to back at the end of January. You can see that it looks like we actually got another little support here at the $36,000 to $37,000 area. We tested that back in the beginning of February, and then more recently here towards the end of February, we had a few days where we were right around that level. So super nice to see that it's you know, sitting, you know, right at this $36,000 level. I've heard a lot of people thinking that the next target for the bulls is going to be the $48,000 limit. So we can see that we had a, you know, kind of a test up here right around 50,000. So I'm thinking based off where it was before it kind of fell off here towards the end of December, the $48,000 to $50,000 is going to be our next resistance level on the high end. And we're going to probably test, you know, with the trends of where we're at right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we test this $37,000 limit here, which I can always draw a little bit of a line here. That's kind of where I think we'll support. And I think based off, you know, what I've seen and what I've seen online and stuff, a lot of people think that this line here will be our next, you know, if we break through here, we'll probably head up to this $58,000 limit. So, you know, it's about $10,000 in between each resistance level here. So you can see we've got about 50,000, and on the low end here is about 38,000. So it's kind of got in between there. But that's just one of those things where we're going to have to wait and see what happens. There hasn't been a ton of movement, and there's been a lot of really strong movement in either direction. You know, we saw this one here where we went from about 37,000 all the way up to 43,000 in just one day. About a $5,000 gain, and then a, you know, little bit of a gain in the next 2 days, and then just as quickly as we saw it go up yesterday, we saw it come down pretty quickly as well. So it's just one of those things. You know, I think we've got a lot to see in crypto. I've been seeing some institutional investment places, as well as people who have been in crypto and lived through, you know, like the 2017 and then into 2018 bear market, and possibly even earlier on in like the 2014 era of crypto, saying, you know, we might not see a bear market or a crypto winter, however you want to refer to it as, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people think, oh, well, that's really good. You know, we're not going to see those really low prices like we did in, you know, 2018 and 2019. But that then brings up the question of, well, what happens during the next Bitcoin halving? Since we did see the pattern continue where the Bitcoin halved this past year, you know, 2020, I think it was in 2020 actually, it halved, and then 2021 really saw the bull run of crypto. Well, if we already have high prices, there wasn't a big correction, will the prices of crypto go back up during the next halving, or will it just kind of continue on that same trajectory? So it's still something that we need to see, but the bear market, I think, in this point, looking at the history, should have already started by now. The fact that it hasn't is kind of interesting, and I don't think we're in a bear market right now. I think for us to be considered crypto winter or bear market, I think we'd be seeing right around $20,000 to $25,000 limit of crypto overall, or I'm sorry, Bitcoin. But yeah, so hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, Mike. Hopefully that kind of helps kind of see where my thoughts are with crypto. Right now, I'm still collecting from faucets, still mining Ethereum, still, using the auto faucets, stuff like that. I don't plan to stop, and I don't plan to sell anytime soon. I'm just continuing as normal. I don't think I don't really see a huge movement in either direction within the next few days, maybe next few weeks, but who knows? Crypto's so volatile that you could go to sleep tonight with Bitcoin at $39,000, wake up tomorrow it could be 50,000. In the same way, it could also be 25,000. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but who knows? So hopefully that kind of helps out a little bit. But let's see. Low Roller joined in here and said crypto's next bull run late 2023 and then peak in 2025 if it's a 4-year cycle. Exactly, yeah. So if we continue on that 4-year cycle, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with the price of Bitcoin if we never really go into that crypto winter or the bear market. It'll be interesting to see, I think, for sure. But if it does stay around this $50,000, $30,000 to $50,000 range, in there, I think the next bull run could be really, really interesting to see where the prices end up, and I think we would absolutely see Bitcoin over $100,000. Ethereum, I mean, who knows? Ethereum behaved a little weird during this last bull run, in my opinion. I would have thought it would have been, $10,000 to $15,000, but it never got that high. So, there's people out there, I've seen a few, like JP Morgan Chase or Morgan Stanley, bigger institutional investment places have put targets of over $100,000 on Bitcoin by the end of this year, which would be really cool, but it would be a lot of difference between the history of Bitcoin and the charts and stuff like that. So, not saying that's a bad thing, it's just definitely different. Now, the other thing that we wanted to, that I thought would be interesting to mention is that 2021 into 22 was kind of the year of institutional adoption, where cryptocurrency was adopted by more mainstream investment companies and more everyday people started wanting to invest in it, versus in the past it's been just people who were interested in it, wanted to learn more about it, thought it was kind of interesting. Now it's people saving for retirement, saving for houses, stuff like that. So I think we're going to see over the next, 12 to 18 months, year and a half here of, a lot of use case for cryptocurrency. We got the institutional investments. Now are we going to start to see a lot more use in crypto as we move forward in time, which I think will be really interesting. So definitely something to think about. But Hamza, you said, what are my views on helium mining? I think it's really interesting, and I think it's a really cool way to earn crypto, especially getting into helium. They've got a lot of support and stuff behind them. I would have liked to get some helium miners, and I've actually been thinking about trying to get one. The issue for me is they're just so expensive. You're similar to GPUs, you're paying a premium for them to get it, which, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you're making money with it. I have a good friend who I've worked with for a while in crypto. He got a free one and has just got it working, but the issue with that is they take about 80% of the profits, but they give you the machine for free. So I'd personally like to get one that is mine, even if I do have to pay a little bit more for it to keep the earnings. I don't know a ton about it, just kind of the basis behind it. It's $22 right now. I've seen people out there earning, few bucks a day, couple $100 a month even. So it looks really profitable, and it's kind of interesting to see that, you can make a decent amount of money in crypto without having to have a huge power bill, which is, kind of how it's been looked at with mining in the past, is if you want to get into crypto and you want to earn a lot and have a decent income, you're going to have to, really jack up your power bill. So that's just one of those things that I think is a really good plus, where for people who, if they want to test it out, get a free one, or if, they take a risk on buying it, they're not also coming along and having to pay for power, especially if something goes wrong. These machines, apart from the cost of entry, are really, really low power and low maintenance costs, which is good, since that means there's just less risk involved. So I just haven't had the chance to get one or find one at a good price, but I've been thinking about looking into getting one, and if I do, I'll definitely be doing some videos on it here on the channel. But let's see, Mike, you said Bitcoin down around 50% from its all-time high, but most alts are down 70-90%. Do you think in the long term only Bitcoin would survive and all the alts would be worthless? I definitely don't think that is the case. Bitcoin, if anything, I think there will eventually be an altcoin that will overtake Bitcoin and become the currency that everybody uses. Bitcoin, I don't think it's ever going to go away, but Bitcoin is, it's the first one. It's so big. It's the one that a lot of the big exchanges use, but the issue is it's not optimized for use. Yeah, I think Bitcoin is going to be the gold of the cryptocurrency, which of course that's how it's always been referred to. It's going to be the one that you buy and hold. You're not going to be spending Bitcoin at the grocery store. You might be spending a coin similar to Dogecoin, or a coin similar to Shiba Inu that is an inflationary coin, or a very, very, very low deflationary coin, because Bitcoin is going to go up in value. There's only so many of them out there, which is going to make it something that people want. A really good example of this, I don't know if this coin is on the other one. I know it's on here. It's called 42 coin. 42 coin is a crypto that's been around for a long time. There are max supply 42. That's where it gets its name. So you can see that this coin is $70,000, $70,569. There's only 42 of them, and to buy it on the exchange, it's just so valuable because there's so little of them. Now, this obviously is not going to be something that people are going to be spending at the grocery store, and that's going to be what's going to happen with Bitcoin, at least what I think is going to happen. So Bitcoin's never going to go away, and I don't think altcoins are going to go away either. Eventually there will be an altcoin that overtakes it. Now, there will certainly be altcoins that are in the top 50 or even top 10 today that in 5 years will probably be gone. If you look back at the history of CoinMarketCap, a lot of the coins that were popular in 2017 are either next to worthless or completely worthless now. So it's just one of those things to think about. I think we have a lot of room for new altcoins, but at the same time, there's a lot of really good altcoins out there that, I think will eventually overtake Bitcoin at some point. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, too. But, Hamza, you said, yep, I think Helium coin has potential. I'm seeing $100 in the near future. So, yeah, I think that's definitely possible as well. Let me see here. Helium, let's take a look at their all-time high. Was, up around $50, it looks like, $52.71. So I think that's definitely possible. We've got a little bit of room to grow there, and I think crypto will have to grow as a whole. I think Helium's got a ways to go up on the coin market cap, but to see a $100 Helium coin, I think we're going to be seeing some bigger moves in the larger market cap coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll see, but I think it's a great project. There's a lot of people in it, both experienced crypto users and a lot of new crypto users in it, because it's so easy to get in and set up. It requires almost no programming, no electricity. You just plug it in and basically forget about this thing, and it just passively makes you money. So that, I think, is what is so cool about it for a lot of people. But definitely one of those things that to keep an eye on. And like I said, if I can get a miner, I'll definitely be doing some videos on it here on the channel. But Yeah, so again, thank you to everyone who's been showing up here. Looks like we've got 3 people, so not a crazy popular stream today, but thank you guys for stopping by and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. It does help out the channel. We've been growing decently. I think with crypto being a little bit less popular, not crazy prices, crazy gains, stuff like that, less people are looking it up on YouTube, which is to be expected, but still trying to stick to video 3 times a week, which I know I've been a little bit off on here, just busy and stuff like that. But yeah, so other than that, again, oh, it looks like Mike, you said, wow, I don't know about 42 coin. How did you learn about that project? Is it a POW coin? I actually learned about this project probably back in, it's either 2015 or 2016, and I mean, I guess I should have bought them at the time, but it was, $10,000 a coin then, so I don't remember. I think my friend told me about it. It's one of those coins that's, I think it is a POW. It's a hybrid POS and POW. It's one of those things that I don't think you can mine it anymore. The circulating supply is, its max supply. Looks like there isn't any volume, just because, I mean, it's on one exchange here, so, whoops, let me see if I can pull up the pair. So it's 42 to BTC. Wow, this exchange is basic. Let's see, buy orders, sellers. Okay, so there are some people out here selling them, maybe? Selling, best ask is 1.6. Is that Bitcoin? Oh, price of, okay. Yeah, so there's a little bit of exchange going on, but I think you would have to stake it and you would just earn transaction fees at this point. I believe it's all out there. So that's one of those things that we've got to, I mean, it's just a fun project. I mean, looking at it here, it's not very high on the market cap because, it's only 42 times 70,000. So it's, 1,300th on the market cap, but it's got one of the highest prices out there of crypto. That's higher than Bitcoin's price, stuff like that. So kind of interesting to look at coins like that. But Low Roller said, great time on faucet earnings. Yeah, that's a great example as well. I've been doing a lot of faucet videos on the channel, reviewing some of the ones that I've done videos on in the past, as well as trying to find some new ones. This is a great time for faucets, because, if we get another bull run and Bitcoin does cross $100,000 or even gets back up towards its $75,000 high, we could really start to see a lot of these coins or these faucets start to close down just because it's no longer profitable for them. So using faucets now while it's profitable and they're still around is super important, because we could see something as unique as crypto faucets going away in the future. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is faucets are so different when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency and investments overall. There's nothing like that in traditional investments. You can't go and, get free pieces of stock in a company by just going on their website or something like that. So that's really cool, and unfortunately I think a lot of people avoid faucets because they just don't want to put in the work. So I'm going to be doing a video here probably next week on creating the ultimate passive income computer for 2022 and talk about some of the best ways that you can just set up a computer, spend an hour or two getting everything ready and running on it, and then basically just turn off the monitor and let it run and make passive income with crypto in like 4 or 5 different ways. So really maximizing your earnings on a computer, and if you can find one used on eBay or Craigslist or wherever, Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that, a used quad core you could get for $30 to $50, it could really be a good investment that you could easily make $30 to $50 back in a week, or I'm sorry, a month, using these strategies that I'll be talking about in the video. So should be interesting. But Low Roller, you said, do you think Dogecoin could go under 1 cent? I think it could. I don't know that it will. I think if it does, Bitcoin's going to be back to 20,000 or lower. Ethereum will probably be less than $1,000. I don't know, though. Dogecoin's been kind of falling. I think if Elon Musk just started doing something again, Dogecoin might spike back up. It's hard to say. It's one of those things that I still have my Dogecoin. I'd like to see it go back to, 25 to 50 cents. But who knows? I think if we get a lot of use case in Dogecoin, absolutely we could see it start to go, back up. But I think 4 to 8 cents is probably where it will hang out. But I don't know. It's one of those things that it could, but I would be pretty surprised if it did. So, Low Roll, you said faucets is based on USA dollars now, not based on the coin anymore. That's very true because those faucets are companies. They make their money by having you go on there and view the ads basically that are on the site. If those ads say for every view, say you go on, that site earns 20 cents. Maybe they give you 5 cents worth of crypto when you go on there. So if the price of Bitcoin gets so high that, they're giving out so much Bitcoin to, meet that, and the ads aren't covering the price of Bitcoin, they're going to be forced to either move to a different crypto or just shut down. So it's one of those things. So who knows? But yeah, that's definitely true that they're looking at their cost basis of, what does it cost per view, per faucet claim compared to what do they earn. And that's just something that every company, has to look at, whether it's a faucet or, a traditional company, looks at what does it cost to get one customer. If it costs them $10,000 to acquire a new customer, but that new customer only spends $8,000 with them, it wasn't worth it. They lost $2,000 on that, unless that customer is going to be a repeat customer that comes back and, does stuff like that. So that's why you're starting to see some of these games and things like that show up on these faucets. So at this time, I am not mining BTT. I switched back to mine Ethereum a few months ago, and I have not mined any more BTT. I recently did the BTT conversion over to the new BTT, which I now have quite a bit of, and who knows, we'll see what happens with that. But at this time, I'm not mining it anymore. Hamza, you said, by stake UST stablecoin on Anchor Protocol and earn 20% annually. I think it's a good passive income. There's a lot of those sites, or I'll say services even, that allow you to stake stable coins, or even in some cases, like Crypto.com, I think you can earn like 8% on your Bitcoin. That's a really good interest rate, but the issue with that, and really I haven't talked about those on the channel, and the reason for that is you have to send your money over to those sites, services, apps, however you want to refer to them as, and hold it over there. If that company was to get hacked, closed down, anything like that, you have a chance of losing your crypto. And while, you gotta, I guess everybody comes up with that ratio. Is it worth it? Is 8% per year worth it, or 20% per year worth it to put my trust in that company? There gets to be a point where you could have, $10,000 to put over there, but how long is it gonna, are you gonna be withdrawing the interest every time it pays you and taking that as profits to try and break even in case the site goes down? Or are you going to let it compound on there and build up, which would be the better option? But then again, if that site gets hacked or something, you could lose it. So I don't use any of those right now. I did use StakeCube for a while, earned 8% on my Dogecoin for a long time, which really ended up working out nicely. But it's a risk that you got to take. So one of those things, I think. But Low Roller said BTT I don't like since they added more coins in the supply. Yeah, I think their idea was a little weird to move over to this huge supply of BTT. I had 515,000 of them, and now I've got like 515 million. It's just weird. I find it a weird one where all these other coins are burning coins, and then BTT is like, well, we're going to just, multiply ours by X number of coins. And it was a weird move, in my opinion. All right, so Low Roller, you said Dogecoin peaked at 2 cents in 2018 and dropped by 95% as low as 0.00095. That's true. It's very possible that Dogecoin could go back below a penny. With the support and, Wall Street bets and, Satoshi Street bets and stuff on Reddit and Elon Musk and all of the new people in crypto, I'd be really surprised if Dogecoin went that low, but who knows? It's definitely possible. it's the same thing. Like I would be pretty surprised if Bitcoin dropped back below $20,000. But who knows? It's definitely possible. Just because I'm saying, I don't think it would happen doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So, um, it's just one of those things that we have to kind of wait and see what happens. But, Mike, you said, do you hold cash in the bank or have you tried earning interest through Gemini, BlockFi, or other stablecoin earning platform? I kind of just talked about that with Hamza's comment. I don't really try. Well, I guess your question's a little different. Are you talking about like fiat currency or like just cryptocurrency cash in the bank? But that's, I guess, if you could clarify on that, because that's kind of interesting. But right now, I just hold my crypto in a wallet. I could move it over to something like crypto.com or, like sites like crypto.com, BlockFi, those ones realistically aren't going anywhere. But then, Mike, I see you said a few comments down, you said you don't want another Mount Gox situation, which most people would have probably said that wasn't going to go anywhere. So you just never know. And even if the company has no intention of closing or taking your money and leaving or anything like that, they could still get hacked. And they, could try and do a payback plan, but I don't think there's anything saying that they need to do a payback plan if they were to suffer a hack. So it's just one of those things you got to kind of think about, and is it worth it in your situation? But at this time, I'm not doing any like crazy staking. I've got a few ZIL coins staked in the Atomic wallet. That's about it. Low roller, you said Dogecoin tanking reminded me Dogecoin struck 2.002 forever for 3 years. New floors 5 to 20 cents. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. Between 4 and 8 cents, I think is a realistic price for Dogecoin over the next few months. But we'll have to see where it goes. But Lower, you said you got Dogelon Mars. You use Faucet earnings to convert it to Dogelon Mars. You can get 1 million coins under $5. BTT trying to copycat Shinu. Yeah. I don't have any of those Dogelon. I do have a guy that I was talking with that he said he has some of them. He made some money with Dogecoin and got on that, coin. There's just so many copies of it. I don't know that it would be worth it to try and, go with those coins. You throw $5 at it, of course. Yeah, you could make, a decent amount of money if they started going up. But it's one of those things that... you can't put your money in too many different spots, I think. Looking at the history of cryptocurrency over the past, 10 years, you would have always made more money had you just put it into Bitcoin or Ethereum. The top 10 coins. Bitcoin always beats out all these other little coins, unless you dumped a ridiculous amount of money into, like Dogecoin or something like that. But it's one of those things, it's not a bad idea, but you can't just keep throwing your money at all these little copycat projects. That's kind of how I look at it, at least. But real quick, looks like we've got 7 people here, so thank you to everyone who's shown up. If you're new here, if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to leave a chat in the live comment section, and we can talk about it. Anything you want to hear about cryptocurrency, technology, investments, stuff like that. But Mike, you said, do you hold fiat in the bank earning 0.01% interest, or hold any fiat in stablecoin platform like Gemini and earn 8% APY? I suppose there's a risk, like you say. I don't. Simple answer is no. I've never purchased any cryptocurrency. All of the crypto I own has come from faucets, cloud mining sites, stuff like that. I've never went ahead and just converted, fiat into crypto. So, and I don't plan to. I've got a decent amount of crypto built up just from free sites. So, the other issue that really comes in with that is the taxes on top of that. You're going to be paying a lot of taxes on that. So, that's something you got to be careful with as well. But, Low Roller said you can move some coins in exchange to earn interest rates. Yeah, it's a similar thing. Dogelon Mars is no risk. You can use faucet earnings since you didn't use your real money. Yeah, and that's kind of the way that I've looked at a lot of these coins, like the Shiba Inu. I just set my mining rig and earned a bunch of that. If you're the only issue is those faucet earnings. Are you throwing, all your faucet earnings into Dogecoin Mars for 5 months or something, however long, 3 months, and then it goes to nothing? Well, you just lost all that money. Yes, technically it was free, but you could have still had it. So like I said, there's a different process for everybody. Everybody's got to choose what they're comfortable doing. And I definitely get the idea of taking the faucet earnings. I mean, that's a perfect way to do it, because that way you're, like you said, not risking your money realistically, because you didn't have it in the first place. So I guess we just gotta, like I said, everybody's gotta come up with their own idea and pick coins that they're interested in. And for me, I haven't looked into it that much. Maybe I will for a little bit. If I think personally, if there's a way to mine it real quick, if I just threw one of my mining rigs on it, on Unmineable, that's what that site was called, you could really earn a decent amount of crypto pretty quick. So especially if it's $5 get you a million coins, that would be a couple million coins a day with my mining rigs. So that's just one of those things to think about as well. But can you mine? I don't know. Let's find out if it's on Unmineable here. Because basically what Unmineable does is you're just mining Ethereum and they convert it for you. So they got Baby Doge, Doge. Yep, you can mine it right here, ERC20. So let's see here. I think I have one of my mining rigs is down. The other is making 135 mega hashes. So I'd be earning about 5.5 million, little over 5.5 million a day. So it's not bad. It's one of those things that you could just set it up and kind of forget about it for a little while, and maybe I'll do that. Kind of see if I can collect some of them and just have a little bit of a stockpile sitting on the side. And similar to Shiba, if it goes up like crazy one day, you sell it off and take the profits. It's one of those things. So it's kind of interesting. Payouts 20 million. So, oh wow. Oh, that's 160. Okay, so I would get a payout every 4 days-ish. So that's not bad. I'll have to look into it. But let's see here. Is that 20 million? Yeah, 20 million. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that a little bit more. Maybe do a tutorial on mining it, because, why not? $5 on 6 million Dogecoin Mars. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, it would be interesting to look into for sure. But Hamza, no, I've not heard of the Ezil pool. Let's see, Ezil pool. I'm sure that'll come up. Let's see, mining pool for Zilcoin. Ethan. Oh yeah, I may actually have an account with it. Oh, it's through that. Yes, I have made a video on this site before, mining ETH and Zil at the same time. I have seen this now that I recognize the site now that I'm on it, but yeah, so I have seen that. I did a video on it a while back. Mike, you said, yeah, taxes is something to consider. Are you planning to stake your Ethereum when ETH 2.0 arrives? Probably. I haven't really thought about it too much. I'll have to look at the earnings and kind of see how it works. If I have to send it somewhere and lock it for a certain period of time, probably not. But if I'm going to earn some Ethereum by just having it sit in my wallet, sure. Yeah, why not? But, it'll be interesting to see when that comes out, because in theory, or what they've said, the POS section of ETH 2.0 should be out by the end of this quarter, I think, or, well, we're coming up on that here pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see that sooner or later, but they said the full ETH 2.0 is probably going to be like 2025 when that comes out. They're taking their time, and it'll be interesting because Ethereum, it's a good coin. It's got a lot of use, but I think it's going to be, over time, I think it'll be around, but I don't think it's going to be very popular, because there are so many newer coins. Looking at like Solana or Cardano, those coins process so many more transactions for so much cheaper. Even when ETH 2.0 comes out, they're still going to be way better transaction processing wise. So who knows? Maybe they'll make some changes, get it out faster, and kind of start working on ETH 3.0 or something like that, 2.1. But let's see. Low Roller, you said, heard of SafeMoon lawsuit since celebrity getting in trouble. SafeMoon big failure, didn't become the next Dogecoin. That is a prime example of why I said, you don't want to keep throwing your money into all these little copycat type of coins. I had to take a drink there, but Safe Moon, that's one of those coins that a lot of people were really excited about, and it ended up going nowhere. So it's a lot of people asked why I wasn't investing in Safe Moon, and I took a look at it, I read over how it worked, and I immediately thought this is the most scam like coin I've ever seen. I immediately was don't invest in it. I think I even said in some of the streams, it's your money, your decision, but I would stay away from Safe Moon. It is not something you want to be investing in, and look where it's at now. So some of these other coins, I'm not saying all of them are going to do that, but it's one of those things that you got to be careful with where you put your money, even if it's a little bit. Saying 5, 10, 20 bucks here and there, that adds up. You do that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, you're looking at $200-$300 that you might be putting in, depending on how much you put into them. And if 80% of them go under, to nothing, and one of them, is still at where it was, and maybe one doubles in value, did you really make any money? So it's one of those things. Again, you got to kind of think about everybody's in a different position, and some people can afford to take a $200 loss on 10 different coins, but altogether $200. But who knows? So and then Mike said, yeah, unsafe Moon. So yeah, definitely interesting. But Low Roller, you said I didn't like Safe Moons due to taxes, headache, you get free coin every transaction. That was one of the big things that I saw as well, that I was like, that just seems weird. I saw that and pretty much was like, I'm staying away from this. I don't want to mess with this. Taxes would be a headache, like you said. Where are they getting these coins? Are they worth anything? Eventually they're not going to be worth anything if they're just giving them away. So, definitely a million tokens, it's flopped too. So yeah, it's interesting. It's one of those things you got to kind of look at and kind of come up with on your own. Like I said, everybody's in a different position, and everybody can make different decisions with their money. So it's interesting though. But again, it looks like we've got 7 people here, so thank you so much to everybody who stopped in today. Please consider hitting the like button if you like this stream, like this kind of content. And if you're not already, please consider subscribing, clicking the bell icon. It does help out the channel quite a bit. And if you're looking to help out more, there are the channel memberships as well as the super chats as well. Any support in that area is greatly, greatly appreciated. So thanks for stopping by. But Mike, you said, what do you think about Litecoin? Is it living on past its glory? That's an interesting way to put it. I don't really know. I had thought Litecoin was going to go up really well. I think I've got about 20 Litecoin, but I'm just holding on to them. I hope it gets back up to, the $300 range, but who knows? Litecoin was for a long time considered silver to Bitcoin. Low Roller says Litecoin will make a comeback since Litecoin is always on TV at CNBC chart. I think Litecoin, since it was like the second crypto, I think, if I'm correct, to Bitcoin, it'll always be around. I don't really foresee it going super, super low. It might go back to like the bear market levels of, $30 to $40, but much lower than that. I don't really think so, but we'll see. It's one of those things that it's a good coin. I don't really know if it'll go anywhere else, crazy. I think if Bitcoin, crosses $100,000, starts moving towards, $250,000 or, $250,000, Ethereum's, 10, 15, 20,000, $50,000, we might see Litecoin $5, $6, $7, $800, maybe $1,000, but you have to start looking at the market cap and, supply and stuff like that when it gets up that high. So, there's other coins that are definitely better functionality-wise than Litecoin, but that doesn't mean it's going to go away. It's one of those traditional coins. It's really good for faucets because it's still cheap. Low Roller actually just said the same thing in the chat. Litecoin is good faucet earnings. So, it's one of those coins that I think if Bitcoin gets too expensive, Ethereum is too expensive in fees, Litecoin could be a really good one to earn from faucets and things like peer-to-peer profit, honey gain, stuff like that. Because the transaction fees are lower, it's still a fairly fast coin, and it's a fairly cheap coin too. $104 for a coin is not a ton, but comparatively speaking to some of these other coins. But I think Litecoin still has a lot of use as a secondary crypto for a lot more transactions at a cheaper rate. That's kind of how I look at it. But Willie Wilson, nice to see you here. Haven't still checked out Aurora Lab. I'm not familiar with that one. Let's look it up. Auror. I'd help if I could spell. I'm guessing it's gonna be this one. $7.89. Let me know if this is the right one. I'll switch and search over here too, just because this usually has a little bit more. I don't see anyone with lab in it as well. There's also a few Auroras, so this one has the ticker, so 787, still the same one. But let me know if this is the right one. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a decent coin. Let's see how long has it been on CoinMarketCap? Since November. Looks like it was about $37 here, $35. Fell off quite a bit. $8 now. I mean, it's got some growth potential. Circulating supply is 22.6 million, with a billion market cap or total supply. I haven't heard about it, but it's got some room to grow. It's a very small circulating supply right now, but there's also only 2% of coins out there. $3 million is not a ton of volume, but it's got potential to grow. 257th place on the market cap is still not bad. But Low Roller, you said Dogecoin still relies on Litecoin for mining. That's very true. It's still around. Script is a very popular algorithm, for some of these other ones, but we'll have to see what happens with it. And then, yeah, like Mike agrees here. He said that's very true. I agree. Litecoin is undervalued for its utilities. So, yeah, I think Litecoin's a great utility coin. And I think we can see a lot of faucets moving over to Litecoin, and even a lot of other sites that offer Litecoin withdrawals, just because the fees would be so much cheaper than Bitcoin or Ethereum especially. But, oh well, we'll have to see what happens with it. But, George, nice to see you here. You said check out the Midas coin. I'm not even sure how you pronounce it, but MIDAS 2147. Taking a look at the all-time, yeah, that is really up there. That would have been a good investment. $2 back in December, but they've been kind of affected a little bit by it as well, the market movement, but still overall, your 3-month return is really, really good. So yeah, it's a good coin that's been going up pretty well. I know, George, you've been looking at that quite a bit. They've got 5 million max supply, so that could really take off here, just based off the supply alone, if more people want to get into it. Low Roller said, disappointment red coin. Yeah, let's take a look at, because I had some red coin on Express Crypto. Unfortunately, they closed down. Well, they went away. I don't know that I ever actually got my payment from that, but Redcoin keeps doing updates, but the price is not moving. They need a big exchange. Yeah, I mean, even looking at their markets here, Correx24, Yobit, never even heard of this one. BitterX is the biggest one. Obviously, they've got the most volume on it, but $34,000 in volume, that's horrible. That's nothing. They've got some potential to go up, but, I like you said, I think a bigger exchange, more exposure to people would be the, that would be the key for cryptocurrency, or this crypto, Redcoin, but we'll have to see what happens with that one. But yeah, that could be a really good one to have as well. Mike said, do you think with all the financial censorship going on around the world that the decentralized POW coins like Bitcoin and Litecoin and Digibyte will survive over coins that have a team and can be shut down or sued? I don't know. That's a good question. I think, definitely the decentralized coins, I think, have a lot higher potential to be trusted and survive based off that trust alone, but that doesn't mean they will. Or I guess that doesn't mean that the other coins will or won't survive as well. You have a good point there. I think the truly decentralized ones where, everybody mining it would have to turn off their computer for it to officially die. Those are going to be around, and survive a lot more. But that's an interesting question. There's so much else going on that goes into that question. I don't really have a good answer for that. But yeah, the decentralized ones I think have a lot more bulletproof. A much more bulletproof aspect to them. They can survive a lot more. So who knows? I think that'll be something interesting to keep an eye on over the next few months and possibly few years as things change and crypto gets more use and maybe fiat currencies get less use. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think there's a big push for POW coins to go away because of the environmental impact, which is definitely a big negative part of crypto. Bitcoin mining is a huge energy draw, which we could technically be using that energy for something else that might be more productive. Obviously, I fully support cryptos and mining, but you can't just ignore the fact that all this power is being used for basically computer files. That's what it comes down to. So I definitely see the argument of getting rid of POW and moving to POS or things like the helium miners that use very, very little power. But at the same time, who knows if that'll ever fully happen. Jackson, nice to see you here. You said, have you seen SafeMoon in a while? They have many products coming soon. We actually just talked about SafeMoon a little bit ago about the lawsuit and everything. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to assume you weren't here for it. I'm sticking with what I said before. So stay away from SafeMoon. I don't plan to even look into it. I did my research on it when it was new, and I am staying away from it. That's my thoughts on it. I don't really have much else to say on it. I haven't really followed it that much. It's just too much of a headache when it comes to taxes. Seems like a scam type of coin. A lot of weird things going on with that I'm personally just avoiding. So that's my decision. Like I said, maybe I'll miss out. It's one of those things. So Low Roller said Bytecoin, Converge, Dental Coin didn't do too well. It used to be popular in 2017. Which new popular coins today would not be popular 2 to 4 now? Look at the older coins. Yeah, that's one of those things, like I kind of briefly mentioned earlier. That's, one of those things, looking at the history of CoinMarketCap, so many coins that were so popular, top 10 cryptos in 2017 are gone or, next to gone. The teams are not active, the coin value is nothing. It's one of those things, these coins that are super, super popular, who knows where they'll be. Obviously Bitcoin's weathered the storm, and while Litecoin used to be in the top 10, Litecoin here, let's see, it's still top 25, number 21. Litecoin is still in the top 25 after all these years, all these other coins. Yeah, it doesn't get talked about a lot. It's not on the top of the news every day like some of these other coins, but it has survived this long, and I think that's something that is really, really good about it. Looking at coins to invest in long term, if it is still in the top 25 after all these other years, that's a coin that isn't going to go down easy. Doesn't mean it can't go down, but it's going to be a fighter if it does have to go down. And then Mike said, yeah, great point. It'll be interesting to see which projects survive. And Low Roller said, a lot of SafeMoon copycats die. I don't see SafeMoon Galaxy and others. I don't see them anymore. So, yeah, that's definitely something that we need to think about as well. There's a lot of copycats that they're not going to survive. You might, if you get in at the right time and get out at the right time, you might make some good money, but that timing could be days, not even weeks. It could be you have 18 hours to sell those coins or you're going to lose the money. So oh well, it's definitely a negative thing in crypto, I think, but it's still something to think about. George here, you said any updates on your Rollercoin account? That's a good question. I have not done any videos on Rollercoin because I've been waiting for Season 4. I can bring it over here. Um, I've been waiting for Season 4. They have not announced it in their Discord or in their site here, but Rollercoin is doing pretty well. I have pretty much just been saving up my RLT. My plan is when Season 4 comes out, I'm going to go ahead and buy all the rewards and just keep building up the RLT. That's kind of what I've found to be interesting. I've got the 2 rooms now. It's pretty much the same since the last video I did. I haven't done any major updates or anything like that. Like I said, I've been saving my RLTs just for the new season. Unfortunately, they have not announced it yet. The old season ended, I think, last week or a week and a half ago. As soon as the new season does come out, I will be doing an update video on it. I should be able to afford all of the RLT packages and all of that for the next season, which I'll like to do. Just go ahead and buy all the new miners, and then just start mining. And even then, I might start mining, 50% Bitcoin, 50% RLT to start taking some profits from the site. I'm 516th place on the leaderboard right now. It's getting much harder to level up because the people above me are so high that, you get a few of these really good miners that could take you up, a couple thousand places when you were lower down. Now you might get 2 levels, so it's one of those things, though. You just got to kind of see what happens with it. But as soon as there's an announcement on Season 4, I will absolutely be doing a video talking about it and all of that. But so far, it seems to be doing really well. Let's see. Dogecoin will be here around since they have a huge community, is what Low Roller said. That I 100% agree. I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. Hamza, you said, what do you think about ETC after ETH POS? I'm not really sure. I don't know a ton about if I assume it's Ethereum Cash. Oh, Ethereum Classic. I don't really know. This coin, it's been up and down. It was way up here. It was a good investment for the bull run. I don't have any. I don't really plan to get any, but it's one of those coins that, it might be a good investment. I think it'll probably stay POW for the time being, but I also don't know a ton about ETH 2.0 and what the plan is with that, so maybe it's roped into this somehow. But I'm pretty sure they're separate projects, so I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't follow this coin a ton, so I don't really have too much to say on it. Loro said Litecoin has a huge community, and that's true. It's one of those classic cryptos that's still used quite a bit, just not as talked about. So I don't think they're going to go anywhere anytime soon. But Mike says BTC, Doge, ETH have gone really high. Maybe Litecoin will have its moment, and the price would shoot up all of a sudden. That would be really cool. I think that would be a really cool thing to experience. Having Litecoin go up really high, a couple $1,000s would be really nice. But who knows? We'll just have to kind of wait and see. Jackson, you asked how much I've invested in Rollercoin. Same as before, none. I've built it all up just through the games, through some referral bonuses from the channel, and then mining RLT and just building up from there. So I don't believe I've invested anything into it. If I did, it was maybe like $20 at the very beginning. But I've been on there for a little over a year now, so I don't necessarily remember. But I can't see myself putting more than maybe $20 into the site when I first made the account. Low Roller said Litecoin has some updates. The Mimble Wimble by adding privacy options. Litecoin is in beta testing for Bitcoin for upgrade in the future. That would be really cool to see, a Litecoin, a big Litecoin security upgrade or something like that that could bring it back into the light a little bit more than it already is. So definitely something to think about and look for in the future. And then Low Roller, you said ETH Cash or ETH Classic is very popular on Robinhood, second popular coin. So yeah, it's one of those coins. Like I said, I don't look into it a ton. I know it's a pretty big coin. I've just never really looked into it that much. I don't have any, don't really plan to get any. So, but other than that, I'm probably going to get ready to wrap up the stream here pretty soon. Yeah, I do still use Coin to Apply a little bit here and there. I use I really moved over to the auto faucets quite a bit because I've been more busy, not doing crypto as much as I used to. So the auto faucets really work out well to just kind of set it up and earn and you know let it run in the background on another computer, which like I said, kind of a sneak preview. That's going to be part of that passive income computer, and those auto faucets have a lot of leveling systems, so you may be earning a decent amount on coin to play, which I guess that also has a leveling system. But the more you use those auto faucets, the more your earnings go up. So that's what's really cool about them. But like I said, I'm probably going to get ready to wrap the stream up here pretty soon. So again, thank you to everybody who stopped by and shared some thoughts and stuff like that today. Channel's still growing pretty well. Again, thank you if you've been supporting here for any amount of time. It does mean a lot. We've been able to grow the channel pretty well. And like I said, continue to make videos and kind of help people learn more about earning free crypto. So the faucet videos seem to be popular, so that's what I've been trying to stick with doing more of. But, George, I appreciate your comment. But, Low Roller says you can use coin to apply to earn interest rates. So yeah, that's something I'll have to look into. I'll have to do an updated video on coin to apply here maybe this week. But Mike, yep, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the updates and the support here on the channel. But again, thank you to everybody who has stopped by and has been supporting the channel. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next stream.